This is Morgan with Team Onyx Ring. I'm bringing you a profile of one of our members, James's Bladewing deck, now that it's finally completed. And, everybody thanks God for the Revival Collection. So our starter is Werfeletter Ordonez, or whatever his name is, the big old bat guy over here. His GB1 is Counterblast 1. You can put him in the Soul Charge 2, and then if you have 6 or more cards in Soul, you can draw a card. So he's good to get you that nice +3 on the Soul and the +1 into your hand. Your main grade 3 in this deck, of course, is Bladewing Sullivan. Sullivan's the best Bladewing Vanguard there is, honestly, and there's nothing you can say to convince me otherwise. When you have 15 or more cards in your Soul, he gains everything in your guard circle that you put down will gain +10 shield. And if he's attacked, you have to Soul Blast 2, which means that, you'll have to keep fueling it unless they attack your rear guards for some reason. Doesn't really make much sense because they'll just get 10 shield on anything you guard them with. His other skill is when you ride him, you choose one of your rear guards, search your deck for 3 more copies of that card if you have them, and then just throw them in the Soul to give you a nice bonus. You use that on things like Sykes if he's on the field. Bladewing Sykes is great as a grade 2, has basically a Dimension Creeper skill. Or you use that on Dimension Creeper if he's on the field, or, anything else like a Enigmatic Assassin or whatnot. So, there's your grade 3. One of your backup grade 3s is you can run 2 Shahart Vampire. A lot of people run more. This is more of a pure Bladewing build, so you've got a little bit of more of a mix of things going on with it. Shahart's really good for just being a basic, aggressive backup, unlike the other Bladewing Vanguards. His GB2 is he can get +10 when he attacks. If you have, 15 or more soul? No, 6 or more soul, he gets +10 when he attacks. And then if you have 10 or more soul, he gets +1 crit when he attacks. His other skill is if he's strode on, you can Counterblast 1, Soul Charge 2, and then your Vanguard gets the ability that when it attacks, if the number of cards in your Soul is 6 or more, your opponent chooses a card and retires it. So he's good for some pressure on your opponent. Right now we're running 1 Bladewing Reiji. His only purpose in the deck is to get Soul Charge. You never want to sit on him, but his skill is if you have 15 Soul, he gets critical +2. And when you ride him, he does the same thing as when you ride Sullivan. And the only reason that he's in there to be in the Soul is because you run 1 of his new version, which will basically stride on himself if you have the old Reijian Soul. If you have the old Reijian Soul and 15, if you have the old Reijian Soul, you can Soul Blast 15 when he attacks. He gets +15 and +2 critical. Then, if this unit is in Soul, you can Counterblast 1, choose 3 cards from your hand and discard them, and then you can ride this from Soul as stand on your Bladewing Vanguard grade 3 if your grade 3 Bladewing did not hit. So this is only for a restand turn. You basically just want to Soul Charge both of these throughout the term of the game, and then if you get stuck without striding, then you can go into them after attacking with Sykes and failing to hit. Assuming that you fail to hit. Moving on to grade 2s. Currently we're running 4 Squallmaker Vampire. Squallmaker Vampire is the Amber clone for Dark Regulars. His GB1, when he's boosted, is Counterblast 1, Soul Charge 2, and give him +5. Good for being a 14k being a 14k beater, and generating some soul. Then we have 3 of possibly the best grade 2 Dark Regulars I've ever seen. Flying Librarian. Her GB1 skill is when she's placed on rear guard circle, you can Counterblast 1, Soul Charge 2, then if the number of cards in your Soul is 6, you can draw a card, then if the number of cards in your Soul is 10, you can Countercharge. So if you have 10 Soul, she's free, and then, everything just keeps going. You get the generation, you get the hand power, everything works for her. 4 Bladewing Sykes is another grade 2, and the last of our grade 2s. His first skill is if he's placed on the rear guard circle and you have a Bladewing, you can Soul Charge 1. And then his act skill from Soul is a Dimension Creeper skill where you Soul Blast him if you have a Bladewing Vanguard and then Soul Charge 2. So, generate some more Soul, and I'll just throw my friends' cards all over the place because, that's how we do it here in Team Onyx Ring. First up in the grade 1s is Dimension Creeper. 3 Dimension Creeper is plenty, because you'll continuously recycle your whole drop zone because, why not stall for the years? Dimension Creeper's skill is from the Soul Blast him out, Soul Charge 2. Like I said, him and Sykes have a very similar idea. Take them out to keep the generation up going. 3 Stride Assists. If you call them and reveal a grade 3, they search out your Shahart if you want to sit on Shahart instead of one of these other 2 Reiji grade 3s that are awful. And then other than that, it's just there to be a Stride Assist and, ditch it for Stride. currently running 2 Doreen. Doreen doesn't have a whole ton of space in the deck. However, she is just always a nice card to put in. During your main phase, whenever you soul charge, she gets +3. So whenever you put any card into soul, from deck, from field, from anywhere, she gets +3. So she gets some big numbers. You put her behind your rear guards to make them big. You put it behind your Vanguard if you have a Glory Vanguard like Gilderay on the field to make that unstoppable. So the 2 of her are run just as a little bit of a convenience thing. You might not see her. It really just helps out in the case that you get lucky and get her going. Next up are our perfect guards. We use 4 Succubus of Avarice because she's absolutely broken. You know, when you place her on guard circle, you can block a Vanguard hit by discarding a card, of course, as a perfect guard. Her GB1 Darkness skill is choose one of your grade 1 or less rear guards and retire it. You can bring it out of soul into your hand. So that's amazing. You can keep, even if you soul charge her, you can get her right back and all of that. So, you know, that's fantastic. We're going to move on to our grade 0s because we do run more than just the 17 of them. We have, first up, we have the 2 Enigmatic Assassin, who is a really nice card to just run in your main deck and hope you soul charge. From the soul, Darkness. Darkness abilities are when you've soul charged once or more in the turn it's active. At the beginning of your attack step, so as soon as you move into your battle phase, or whatever you want to call it, you can call her right out from soul, give her +5 if you have 6 or more soul, and then give her +10 more if you have 10 or more soul. So she can be a 10k booster, or she can be a 20k booster, you know, out of soul. And then as soon as you're done with her, the next turn, that if she's on the field, next turn as a 5k, just sitting there being useless, retire, bring your perfect guard back from out of your soul. Moving on to triggers, we have 2 Monochrome of Nightmare Land, GB1, put this unit into your soul, or no, well, what am I doing? Put this unit on top of your deck, shuffle your deck, and soul charge 1. And then if the number of cards in your soul is 6 or more, you can choose a card from your damage zone and counter charge it. If the number of cards in your soul is 10 or more, you can draw a card. So you call it on the field, shuffle it back in for basically no reason, counter charge 1, soul charge 1, draw 1. It's easy pluses, and you only need to run 2 because, of course, you can recycle everything in your deck just by putting it out and recycling it with Tybalt. Okay, so 2 Hysteric Shirleys, obvious reasons. You don't really need the draw power in the deck. You really just need the fact that you can call her, put her in the soul, and soul charge 1 for free. Easy soul. You might want to bump her up to 4. It's really up to you. 4 heals, of course. 4 One-Eyed Succubus crits, just because you do have Charlotte Vampire, or Charlotte Vampire as a grade 3, and you have Charlotte as a stride. Its skill is simply a boss crit skill. When your Shard attacks, put it in the soul, give it +5, and draw a card. So, you know, that's simple enough. Other than that, you've got 4 other crit spaces. We use Dark Knight of Nightmare Land because his abilities you can put in the soul and give something +3, meaning that you can plus on your soul. So that's all that there is for the main deck. Going on to the G Zone, we can start off straight away with Wings of Annihilation, Bladewing Tybalt. We run him at 4 because he's just incredible. When you stride him on a Bladewing Vanguard, put all of the cards in your drop zone back into your deck and shuffle your deck. If the number of cards in your soul is 15 or more, this unit gets all of your rear guards in the front row get +10. And if there are not 15 or more cards in your soul, soul charge 5. So first stride, fuel your soul. You know, if you've got 15 in soul during your second stride, everything gets more power. Makes your cards actually aggressive. After that, we have 4 Abominable 1, Gilderay. Gilderay is the most broken grade 4 in Dark Irregulars and is one of the most broken grade 4s in all of Vanguard. You G-Persona him, so there's no counterblast cost, nothing like that. Just flip up another copy of him. If you have 10 or more soul, he gets +10. If you have 15 or more soul, he gets glory, so that when you attack, your opponent can't guard with grade 1s or higher. And then if there are 2 or more face-up cards in your G-Zone, he gets +1 critical. So he becomes a kill stride. And, you know, you've got 2 options for that. If you don't kill him with those 2, you've got a pretty good backup kill stride in 1 Steeped in Sin Shahart. Look at that nice SGAR foil that this boy's got in his deck. Sinner Shahart's skill is Darkness Generation Break 2. Counterblast 1 when he attacks, if you can put all your rear guards in your soul, and then he gets plus 10. And then you put all your rear guards in your soul, he gets plus 10,000 power, and then he retires all of your opponent's rear guards. Then if the number of cards in your soul is 15 or more, your opponent cannot guard the attack with Sentinel cards. So no PGs, no Quintet Walls, nothing that makes it easier to stop. So he doesn't have a crit, but he does have the guard restrict. So if they're at 5k damage, he's a lot of pressure. If they have a huge field that's threatening you, he takes it right out, and he's not a G persona, so you only need the 2. We have the Sea Breeze for obvious reasons. Your G Guardians, we've got 3 Saint Germain. Saint Germain's there because when he's placed on guard circle, if you have 10 or more soul, he gets 10 shield, and then if you have 15 or more soul, you can give literally everything resist. So, what's Dimension Police? What's Guard Break? Everybody has resist. I don't even care, you know? So, Germain's easy to use like that, and your other 2 G-Guards are False Dark Wings, Agret Bat Malat, you know? And then when you call this to guard circle, if you have, well, you can soul charge 2, and then if you have 6 or more soul, it gets plus 5 shield. So it's easy to generate soul with this guard, and then it's an easy 31k guard. So the reason you run 5 G guards in this build is because by shuffling back your whole drop zone, you can recycle your heals, meaning that there's a possibility that you could use 5 G guards in a game. Not likely, but it also just kind of gives you options on what you want to do. So that's all that there is for the Bladewing deck profile. There are a lot of different options that you can use to change it up and make it different. Like, for instance, you could take out the Reiji combo and run full 4 Shahart, full 4 Bladewings, and if you do that, you can switch out some of these other grade 2 options for the Shahart support grade 2s. You know, there's a whole ton of options with the trigger lineup. Your G zone is fairly standard for a Bladewing deck if you want to take out Sea Breeze, you can. I always don't recommend that, but you know, hey, people like it, so you can do whatever you need. So if you like this video, please smash that meme button and, you know, share this video with all your friends and do all that nonsense, cancerous stuff that YouTubers always talk about. Thanks for watching. See you next time. We're going to have a practice fight with this coming up shortly after this is uploaded.